The Guardian Grove.
Hunter was a boy who loved adventures more than anything. At just 9 years old, his imagination was boundless, and the world seemed full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. When his family moved to a small house on the edge of the countryside, Hunter's excitement was palpable. "Think of all the places I can explore," he said to himself as he helped carry boxes inside. Behind their new home stretched a vast forest, its tall trees casting deep, inviting shadows. His parents warned him to stay close to the house. "The woods can be tricky to navigate," his mother said. "It's easy to get lost." Hunter nodded obediently, but curiosity tugged at him like a stubborn friend. That evening, as the golden light of the setting sun filtered through the trees, Hunter's curiosity got the better of him. He slipped out the back door and crossed the grassy yard toward the forest edge. "Just a quick look," he told himself. The woods were enchanting. Shafts of sunlight pierced the canopy, creating patches of glowing green. Birds chirped melodiously, and the air smelled of earth and moss. Hunter wandered deeper, following the trails left by deer and the flickering dance of fireflies. Every step felt like stepping into a storybook. Time passed quickly. The golden light faded, replaced by the cool blues and purples of twilight. Hunter stopped in his tracks, realizing he could no longer see the way he'd come. The forest, once inviting, now felt vast and unfamiliar. Shadows stretched long, and the rustling of leaves seemed louder, almost like whispers. Panic rose in his chest. "Hello?" he called, his voice small in the growing darkness. "Is anyone there?" But the forest didn't answer. Hunter stumbled to the base of an ancient oak tree, tears threatening to spill. "I just wanted to look around," he murmured, hugging his knees. "Now I'm lost." The oak creaked, its branches swaying though there was no wind. Hunter froze as a deep, soothing voice rumbled, "Hush now, little one. You're not alone." Hunter looked up, eyes wide. The oak's bark seemed to ripple, and slowly a face emerged, kind eyes and a gentle wooden smile. Who are you?" Hunter whispered. "I am Alderon," the tree replied, "guardian of this grove. We mean you no harm." "We," Hunter echoed. All around, the forest seemed to awaken. Trees of all shapes and sizes shifted, their bark forming faces. Some were old and wrinkled, their voices like crackling firewood. Others were young and smooth, their tones light and musical. "Yes, we," Alderon said. "You are in the Whispering Forest, where no harm comes to those with pure hearts." Hunter's fear gave way to awe. "You're alive?" Alderon chuckled, a sound like wind through branches. "Of course. We've been here long before your kind built their homes and roads. But tell me, child, why do you wander alone so far from safety?" Hunter looked down. "I didn't mean to get lost. I just wanted to see the forest. It looked so magical." "And magical it is," Alderon agreed. "But even magic can be dangerous when you're unprepared. Do not worry, though. We will protect you tonight and guide you home in the morning." The other trees murmured in agreement, their leaves rustling like a gentle applause. Hunter felt a warmth he hadn't expected, as though the forest itself was hugging him. Branches lowered to form a soft bed of leaves. Fireflies gathered to create a glowing canopy, their light golden and steady. Hunter lay down, his fear completely replaced by wonder. "Thank you," he said softly. As the boy rested, Alderon and the other trees began to tell stories. Their voices wove tales of the forest, of how the Whispering Forest had stood for centuries, protecting wildlife and travelers alike. They spoke of the seasons, of the snow that blanketed their branches in winter, the blossoms that adorned them in spring, and the fiery colors of autumn. Hunter listened, his eyes growing heavy. But the forest held more than just trees. As the night deepened, new sounds emerged: the soft hoot of an owl, the distant howl of a wolf, and the rustling of unseen creatures moving through the underbrush. Hunter stirred, his curiosity reignited. "What else lives here?" he asked sleepily. "Many beings call this forest home," Alderon said. "Some are shy, like the star foxes that weave through the shadows, their fur glowing like moonlight. Others are bold, like the bristle bears who roam the deeper groves, their steps shaking the earth. But all respect the forest's balance. Just then, a soft light flickered through the trees, and Hunter gasped as a small creature emerged. It was no larger than a rabbit, but its body shimmered like crystal, reflecting the firefly's glow. Its large, curious eyes met Hunter's, and it chirped softly. "A prism mouse," Alderon said, his voice tinged with affection. "They guide lost souls with their light. You must have a kind heart for one to show itself to you." Hunter reached out, but the prism mouse skittered away, its light leaving a trail. "Will it come back?" he asked. "Perhaps. The creatures of the night reveal themselves only to those who need them." As Hunter settled back down, he noticed more of the forest's nocturnal inhabitants. A group of tiny winged sprites flitted between the branches, their laughter like wind chimes. High above, a great owl with golden eyes watched silently, its presence regal and reassuring. And in the distance, a pair of luminous eyes peeked from the shadows, belonging to a sleek, shadowy creature Alderon called a dream cat. The forest activity didn't frighten Hunter. Instead, it filled him with a sense of belonging. These creatures weren't intruders. They were neighbors in a vast, shared world. Before he drifted off again, Alderon's deep voice hummed another lullaby. It was joined this time by the other trees, their tones harmonizing into a melody that seemed to come from the earth itself. The song wrapped around Hunter like a blanket, carrying him into dreams of glowing trails and whispering leaves. When Hunter awoke, the forest was bathed in the soft light of dawn. Alderon's face was still visible, his eyes twinkling with kindness. "Good morning, young one. Are you ready to go home?" Hunter nodded. "Yes, but I'll miss you." The oak's smile deepened. "You can visit us anytime as long as you show respect. The forest is a friend to those who treat it kindly." The trees parted, creating a path lined with sunlight. Hunter followed it, the way clear and welcoming. As he stepped out of the forest and into the backyard, he turned to wave. Alderon and the other trees stood tall and silent, their faces now hidden, but Hunter felt their presence. His parents rushed to him, their relief evident. "Where have you been?" his mother cried, hugging him tightly. Hunter hesitated, then smiled. "Just exploring. I'm sorry I worried you." That night, as he lay in bed, Hunter thought of the whispering forest. He knew he'd never forget the trees that had protected him, the creatures that had watched over him, and the magic they had shared. From that day forward, the forest was not just a place to explore. It was a friend, a guardian, and a reminder of the wonder that still lingered in the world.